So we're going to look today at a non-fiction text. Now remember, non-fiction means it's not fake. And if it's not fake, then it has to be real. So this is about something real, okay? Now the title is called Eureka. Now that's a word of Greek origin. It's not native to our English language, but it's a word that we have adopted because it is commonly used when you discover something. So when you find something new or solve a riddle or a problem, or like you have that light bulb moment, you go Eureka! And it's an exclamation, which is why it's got an exclamation at the end of the word, okay? Now, if that's what Eureka means, and we know this is a non-fiction text, we can coin those two things together to say, I believe this text is going to be about something amazing, some sort of discovery that happened in real life. So let's see. So, have you ever looked around? Have you ever looked around you at all the things you have in your house and wondered how they got there, who invented them, why they were invented? Inventors are usually ordinary people like you and me who discover something that needs changing or improving. Sometimes people don't even know they are inventors until they discover a problem they want to solve. If nobody else is willing to sort out their problem, then they do it themselves. And lo and behold, a new invention appears. Now, in that introduction, because that's what we call the first part of a non-fiction text, an introduction, whereas in like a fiction text, we'd call that an opening, wouldn't we? So in this introduction, I think all that vocabulary is really accessible, isn't it? I would say the only phrase that you might not be used to or sure on is that phrase lo and behold. So I'm just going to go back to that sentence for you briefly. If nobody else is willing to sort out their problem, then they do it themselves, and lo and behold, a new invention appears. Now, lo and behold is again a popular phrase, and that means surprisingly or thankfully or wonderfully. So if I was to put those synonyms into this sentence, we'll see which one fits best. If nobody else is willing to sort out their problem, then they do it themselves, and surprisingly, a new invention appears. Works. If nobody else is willing to sort out the problem themselves, then they do it, and wonderfully, a new invention appears. I think that sounds better, don't you, than the surprisingly? But I guess that's preference. If nobody else is willing to sort out their problem, then they do it themselves, and excitingly, a new invention appears. That works too, doesn't it? So of those three synonyms, I'd say excitingly and wonderfully work better than surprisingly. But you might have an argument to disagree with me, and that's fine. So we've got a subheading next, born inventors. Sometimes people are so curious that they can't help themselves. For example, when Sir Isaac Newton discovered that light was made up of all colours of the rainbow, he spent months investigating his theory and setting up experiments that separated the light into different colours. He wouldn't stop until his work was done. Well, Sir Isaac Newton seems to be very dedicated, doesn't he? I hope you guys are to your home learning. Let's see what's on the next slide.